Hey folks, ET here coming at you with the week ahead look for a few different tickers. So let's get to it. We're going to cover Amazon, Apple, and ZOM this week. All three are sort of range plays, so we're just going to kind of go through and see what we have on those ranges where some bounces and some break aboves or belows might happen. First off, we're going to take a look at Amazon. Amazon's customer sentiment is getting more and more bearish, and we'll go ahead and jump in here to its gamma really quick just to show you what we're looking at here. 190 to 202.5 is really a range I'm looking at. For some reason, it breaks up to 210. All right, that is a big break, but we can take a look here. It's aggregate 195 is the pull. So what I'm eyeing here are if we have a red day down to 190 or even this big bounce at 185, I'm going to look to long Amazon to the upside. Plain and simple there. It's been a little bit more bearish over the past few sessions. It's had trouble breaking 200. We'll see how that goes. Inverse of that, if we get up to this 202.5 or even have a fantastic day somehow up to 210, I'm going to look to bring it back down to 195 to the short side. 202.5 is a pretty large positive level. Not quite tapped that totally yet. We need to get up there really for a good short. This is a very nice range play I'm keeping an eye on for both directions, all right? Sometimes tickers don't go all the way in just one direction all week long. They have bounces and repels and retraces back up or down. So that's what I'm eyeing for Amazon. Pretty simple play. I'm going to set alerts for around these levels. I usually set within $1 of the range on my trading view, and then I recheck all of the information for it and market sentiment for the day through all of the trading tools very quickly, like the gamma and its dark pools, and seeing if its net flow is positive or negative, and then I execute my trade from there. So very simple. Amazon is our first one. We'll go ahead and jump into our next one, which is Apple. Apple's customer sentiment is quite bullish. Did see a little bit of a dip there, but that could have been because of this big red bar right here. But it does have some very interesting gamma showing right now. So let's go ahead and make sure we're on our aggregate. Our aggregate right here has 235 as a little bit of a repel. All right, and a small pull at 240, and its biggest pulls are 227 and 225. All right, there's a small bounce there at 217, but I want to take a look at just what it's showing for this week for the moment to see what we have going on. So for this week, really over 230, we do have room up to 242.5. This is also a range play. So it has a very, very, very strong day. We're looking for a long up here and forgetting about this big pull for a moment. But if we can't stay above 230 and we continue to repel off of it, I'm looking for a pull back down to 225, maybe even a small bounce at 217.5 or 220. So very simple play there based on that as well. Okay, we stay above and we consolidate, not just one 5-minute candle, but maybe multiple hours in a row, maybe your 4-hour if it can stay above, maybe room up. Okay, if not, then we have an easy play back down to 225. So simple look there for Apple as well. All right, our next one is going to be ZOM. Let me find that real quick. ZOM. Now I want to point out ZOM's dealer deltas and customer sentiment are actually inverse of each other. So what I mean there is when you see bullish customer sentiment on ZOM, it usually means downside, and when it gets to be bearish, it actually goes up. It's just the way the flow works with this one. It's one of those ones, if you've watched the crash course where I discussed, we have some ones that are opposite. So if we were looking at our dealer deltas here, they'd be negative, which generally means we push upwards, but in ZOM's case, it would be down. So this is a good case for upside ZOM being something that we might actually see as we line down here. It's customer sentiment. The more bearish it becomes, the more ZOM goes up. So very simple there. Look there at ZOM. We're going to take a look at its gamma, which has been holding strong, pretty much the same for the past few weeks. If you paid attention to our Discord channel, the Tingle Dome, the ET Tingle Dome that I put a lot of my plays in, this is one of the ones that I put in there multiple times over the weekend. It is a very, very, very fun play both ways. Once again, what we're looking for truly is a dip down to around the 110 area with a 115 strike. Okay, 110 to 115 is the range that I'm looking. If we go to it, this is the weekly look right here. If we go to the aggregate, it's even got a bigger pull up here at 120 a little bit later on and further out. But for now, what we're eyeing is 110 holds with 115 targets right around there. I usually go 2 to 3 weeks out on these to give them time. So if you're playing shorter than that, always would suggest just being careful. But ZOM contracts are pretty cheap if you have a smaller account as well. Pretty helpful there, to be honest. They're not too expensive for the price of entry, but once again, such a simple play for really both ways last week. Every day we traded last week, we for the most part, we would have a dip down low and then a rip upwards maybe the next day. And then we would retrace back down to this area again, right around here, around this 112 to 110 range again, before we'd go up again. So this is one I'm just going to keep on repeat until maybe it finally breaks out to 120 and just kind of keep playing those 110s and those 110 bounces. We do have a massive gamma level right around mid 110 as well, or massive dark pool level right around 110 as well. So we probably mids close to 111. So that's also a good spot to keep an eye, or one of the other reasons to keep a good eye on this spot. Very short video this week, just keeping it as simple as possible, giving you where I am looking for things to either hold or break for up or downside. Very simple. Don't have to be rocket scientists. We can just wait for some things to come our direction, be patient, and get a few plays off. That is all for now. Everybody have a good week. Stay safe out there and go get that Oprah money.